Scene Gnome and Fairy Garden program. Today we're going to be making a beach-themed fairy garden or gnome garden. So first we'll be going over what you got in your make and take kits, and then I'm going to suggest some other supplies that are good to have on hand, and then we will put our beach scene together. Okay? So what you got in your make and take kits is a planter base, a bag of blue stones, some moss, a bag of sand, a bag of decorations that has seashells, a paper umbrella, and a sea creature, a chair, a piece of fence, and a gnome statue. You also got some fairies cutouts that are on toothpicks for your fairy garden. So some other supplies that are good to have on hand is some soil and scissors. So let's get started. So to begin our beach garden, we're first going to fill the base up with some soil. You don't have to use soil, but it is a good idea because it helps level out your fairy garden to bring it up a little bit higher. So I'm just going to add this bag of soil, and I'm just going to use my hands to smooth it out. So you can also add some succulents or some plants to your garden. I don't have any on me, but if I did have some succulents, I would add it at this point when I do the soil before adding the sand. That way I know their roots are covered with just soil. So that is my base with the soil. Next I'm going to add my sand. So I'm just going to take my bag of sand and dump it right on top. Like so. And then once again, I'm going to use my hands. You can also use a fork or a shovel to smooth it out, but I'm just going to use my hands. So I'm going to smooth the sand on top. That way the soil is completely covered. Like so. So you can't see the soil under the sand, which makes it look more like a beach. All right, so now that I have that done, it's time to decorate. So first I'm going to decide where I want my blue stones to go because these can look like water. So I'm gonna use the scissors to cut them open. Place the stones to look like the ocean. So that's where I'm going to place my water. Now I can use the moss. I'm going to decide where the moss goes next. You can also use the moss to make it look like seaweed, which will look cool. Take some of this moss out. Or you can make it look like beach grass. You can use as much as little or as little as you want of the moss. So it looks like it's seaweed that washed up. Alright, so that's where I'm going to place my moss. Maybe I'll add some after I add more decorations, but for now I'm going to stick with this. Next, I'm going to add the fence. I'm going to do the fence back here. And I'll add my beach chair. Gnome to my scene, and you can also add your fairies too. And I'll show you a close-up, but this is my beach scene, gnome and fairy garden. So thank you for joining me for the beach scene, gnome and fairy garden program. I hope you had so much fun making your garden, and I would absolutely love to see how they came out. If you would like to share with us, you can post to any of our social medias and tag us. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!